Well, I said to Josh, I was shaking his hand after the game, I said, we're two guys building our programs. And we both need to keep remembering that. And it was our day. We did a really good job of never losing the lead, once we got it. We didn't have a ton of empty possessions. We were able to play through things. They're really hard to score against because of not only their transition defense is excellent, and then they get into the zone, and you've got to continue and constantly move them around so that because they cover so much ground, and obviously when you've got a guy like James Banks that can sit in the lane and defend the way that he can, he changes the game. So they have such activity with their guards and their perimeter, and they have length. They make it really, really tough for you to get the ball where you want it, especially with throwing it to the corners. And so our guys had to constantly make some adjustments in halftime. We missed some things, there's no doubt about that. But the reason we were in the game early, the reason it was 20-9 early, those type of things, because we were guarding it at a high level. We needed to win the rebounding game today. We needed to be right there in the turnover game, and we were. And we needed to be really, really active with our hands defensively. We had 43 deflections. T-Shawn Hightower had 13, Nick Claxton had 11. That's huge for us because the blocks and the steals are the obvious ones, but it's the tips, it's the, I tip it, you grab it, it's 2 deflections. Those are the kind of things we've got to be good at. We've got to be really good at it. And for the most part, we were. And so defensively, we did a really good job. We made timely shots. There were times that we weren't as good with our offense as it needed to be. We missed some openings. We'll be able to learn from it, from the film. But to come on the road, for them to have the crowd the way that they had it, for them to make the comeback that they had, which we knew they would make, and for our guys to plant their feet and really stay true to that was really, really strong. And winning a game Tuesday night against Oakland when they had cut it to 2, and our guys doing the same thing, finishing them off 15-5 at the end of the game. It's not about who your opponent is, it's about the experience you go through, especially when you have a new program like we are. So I think those kind of things and the way they prepared helped us today, and we never lost our composure to win the game.
Can you talk about Nicholas Claxton, just what you've done to work with him since you arrived at Georgia and where he's at now?
Well, he's got such agility. It was the second workout, I believe, and I'm watching him, and we're starting to work on going the opposite, or going with the other hand. And it's like, okay, he could be really good with this. He's a left-hander. At that point, we had 4 left-handers. Now we have 6. But it was watching film. It was seeing, okay, what is he comfortable with? But most importantly, what can we work on with him that's going to really stretch his confidence? And to stretch his confidence, you needed to stretch his game. And we started putting him out on the perimeter more and more at the very beginning. Working with his shooting, certainly like all of them. But forcing him to go to his right, getting him to drop his shoulder, having him guard guards, everything to get him comfortable being away from the basket. And I think the comfort level that he has away from the rim, with the ball and without the ball, helps him even better at the basket. He's got tremendous agility. He's so agile, he's fluid, he moves his feet extremely well. We're very comfortable with him guarding 1 through 5 and really playing 1 through 5, and he handles the ball a lot for us. And he's a shot maker. That 3 was a huge 3. We wanted to get the ball to him at the end of the game, with his free throw shooting. Very confident there. So he's a joy to work with. He's getting better and better, and he's really, truly, I know this sounds like a cliche, but I see it every day. He's really just scratching the surface.
Tom, you mentioned starting to build a new program. You've played, I think, 11 games now. What's the most challenging thing?
Oh, consistency, no doubt about it. Getting consistency, whether it's coming out of a timeout, whether it's we're trying to become more, day by day. We had a really good week with that. They had a really good week. They really bounced back from losing Arizona State, okay, which wasn't easy, right? Because we had the lead, we lost it, and we came back out Sunday and Monday, and we were really good. Well, Tuesday we're on fumes a little bit, and we found a way to finish the game. So we got them some rest, got them some recovery, and our practices the last couple of days, whether it was a practice all out, a walkthrough, a film session, they were really, really good. Now, it stands out because it's one of the first times it's really happened like that, getting that consistency level. So there's challenges, defensively and offensively with them. We're not a great ball handling, decision-making team yet. Our shooting can be up and down, but when you can play with a consistent level of toughness, now you got a chance to overcome those things, and that's the biggest challenge for us, is to get that consistent level of toughness, mental and physical, that you got to have on a daily basis, without letting them, you know, if they're not making shots. Like Tyree, he was down a little bit, right? He's coming to the bench, he's seeing ghosts because he's missing some shots. No, you're going to make a shot. We just got to keep getting you lost in the game, and all of a sudden he makes 2 big ones. Them learning that that's going to happen, not letting in-game failure wear them down or wear them out and carry you into the defensive end where you're not as good. That's what that's where we're really starting to grow. That if we're not scoring, we're still coming down on the other end and stopping people. And so getting that level of consistency in all those areas is the biggest challenge on a daily basis.
Tom, what happened with Rayshon's knee? Was it in the
I came down wrong. He came down wrong. I believe I'll talk to the trainer a little bit more, but he just had a tough landing. He was able to go back. I was playing time and score, really risk and reward a little bit at the end. You know, wanted him in, but we played without him last Saturday night at the end of the game, and that's not a good feeling. And when he's out of the game, and we couldn't put him in. So I was waiting on the rainy day for him a little bit, you know, late in the game, and then playing offense defense with him because we didn't want him to get the 4th foul. So he didn't sit there for an extended period because of the injury. He sat there because he was cleared. He sat there because I was trying to play time and score. Right.
What's a normal number of deflections
For who?
for your team?
Well, we're not there. Then I would add to that. We're not nearly as active defensively as we need to be. The activity defensively, the communication defensively is a challenge to get to. But I've had teams average 48 and 49. I've had teams average 47. We've been hovering in the low 30s. That will not cut it. And I don't know what our number is going to be yet. I know what it's got to become if we're going to be a good team. And there's really no reason this team. This is not the longest team I've ever coached in 19 years, but it's certainly one of the longest. It's certainly one of the biggest when you look at the way we're starting with the 3 bigger guys. So we just got to get it. Big thing to me, I'm going to come out of here. T-Shawn Hightower, 13 turnovers. He played 13 deflections, not turnovers. He played 14 minutes last Saturday night against Arizona State. It wasn't a great game, and all of a sudden, he's played 2 pretty good games this week, and he really did a good job defensively. He got caught on the hold. We didn't want to deny this team. The number one strength they have in the half court is the way they cut. They do a tremendous job of moving without the ball. So we wanted to pressure, but we didn't want to over pressure. You know, we showed the guys a lot of the Arkansas game. Arkansas gave them, because of the way they play, a lot of cuts and openings to the basket, which they flourish with, which get you help, and then all of a sudden there's Banks just wrecking havoc with his ability to offensive rebound the ball. So we want to be active in the full court. We want to be active in the half court. We want to be active on really challenging passes into the post.
Was there something in the scout that made you think you could get a lot of blocks in this guys?
No, we get blocks. No.
This is a season high though.
Was it? What was it?
10.
Yeah, that's good. No, we block shots. I mean, we've got some length, and we just got to become more active. We don't spend a lot of time talking about the block shots and the steals. We do talk about timing, verticality, coming off the ball, but we spend a lot more time trying to be better with our ball pressure, better with our off the ball hands, which is where our weakness, in answer to Jeff's question, has been for us, that we've got to get better at. But we have some length, and we have some guys that have really good timing.
Tom, it's your first one in this rivalry, but it's the 4th straight win for Georgia. What does it mean for your program to keep the upper hand in this rivalry?
It means a lot, but more importantly to me, there was only 4 seniors. Are they aware of this stat? There was only 4 seniors in 113 years of this rivalry that had swept the series. Now we have 5. They had to make it 9. That's unbelievable. Mike said that the other day, and obviously we didn't put that out. You know, no sense giving anything to the bulletin board, right? But that's unbelievable. 113 years. Now what that says, first and foremost, is that this is a tremendous rivalry, right, to have that. And Georgia Tech might have a good number too. I don't know. I'm not concerned about that. But when I heard that 2 days later, I said, like, don't tell anybody, right? Like, let's keep that a secret. The players knew it though. And Christian Harrison transferred in. But when you look at Turtle, Victorian, Mike, Derek, and Connor, and those guys, no matter what, in their rivalry game, will know they never lost that game. Now they can call up Yante and JJ and guys like that and thank them. And Mark Fox and his staff deserve credit too, right? And we were just here for one of them, but I think that's pretty amazing. So we're excited about the win. We know we beat a good team. It was a very good environment in here, and he's building his program, just like I am.
Coach, where do you see this team here in conference play in terms of some of your concerns and some of the more encouraging things here?
Oh, it's a process of improvement. I mean, there's no doubt we're getting better. But I mean, I have a, you know, I watch the film, but I've never coached in it, and B, I've not coached against that many of the coaches in this league. And last year in television, I watched more games than I'd ever really watched in my life. And so, like now, over this break, not only getting ready for UMass, I'll watch more and more of the league. But I don't know. I mean, we've all the things I mentioned before. We got to get a lot better at that. We've got to get a mental toughness. I mean, you think about our schedule. I mean, and what is it? The synergy ratings or the Ken Palms? The Ken Palms got us going 0-10 to start the SEC, right? I mean, when you base it on numbers. So what do I know? All I know is that we got to get better. We've got to become that consistency has got to be. We've got to string more stops in a row together. We've got to continue to build our running game. We've got to build our quick ball movement game. We've seen a lot of zone lately, and I think we've tried to work really hard to figure that out, and we have. But we just got to keep moving the ball and being able to withstand disappointment in a game, being able to keep coming back from mistakes, getting our bench back up to where it needs to be, just continuing to shoot the ball. I mean, just really, we've got to be able to shoot, be able to win on the. Everybody thinks there's a. Yes, you got to defend and rebound on the road. Okay. Yes, you got to get to the foul line. You got to make jump shots on the road if you're going to win on the road. Now, we didn't make a ton today, but if you're going to win consistently on the road and you're going to win in this league, you got to make jump shots. And we've got to get better there, and we're not great at that yet.
Any questions for Coach?
Here's